What if the thing keeping you stuck isn't your circumstances? What if it's something that was done to you so many times that your brain just stopped trying? There's a moment most people have felt but never had words for. You're facing a problem, and somewhere deep inside, before you've even really tried, a voice says, "What's the point?" Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because some part of you already believes the outcome is decided. That feeling has a name, and understanding it might be the most important thing you do this year. In the 1960s, a psychologist named Martin Seligman was working with dogs, and what he discovered, almost by accident, would go on to explain depression, burnout, and why millions of people silently give up on their own lives. Here's what happened. Seligman placed dogs in a situation where they received small electric shocks, not enough to seriously harm them, but uncomfortable, unpleasant, unavoidable. No matter what the dogs did, they couldn't stop it. They moved, they tried, they failed, over and over. Then something shifted. The dogs stopped moving. They just lay down and waited for the shock to come. Now here's where it gets interesting. Seligman changed the setup. He gave the dogs a way out, a simple barrier they could jump over, an easy escape. Most of them didn't take it. They had learned through repeated experience that nothing they did mattered. So even when the door was open, they stayed on the floor. That is learned helplessness.
The door was open. The escape was right there. But the brain had already written the ending. And this isn't just about dogs in a laboratory from 60 years ago. This is you. This might be you right now. The person who stopped applying for jobs after too many rejections. The person who stopped setting boundaries because they never seemed to work. The person who stopped dreaming, not because the dream died, but because they got tired of being disappointed. At some point, the shocks taught you something. Trying doesn't change anything. And once the brain learns that, it protects you from failure the only way it knows how, by making sure you never try hard enough to fail again.
Here's what most people get wrong about learned helplessness. They think it's weakness. They think it's a personality flaw. They say things like, just get up, just try harder, just believe in yourself. But that's not how the brain works. Learned helplessness isn't a choice, it's a conclusion. A conclusion your nervous system drew from real experiences, real pain, real loss, real moments where effort led nowhere. Your brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was built to do, learning patterns to keep you safe. The problem is, the pattern it learned is wrong. The shock stopped, but your brain didn't get the memo.
Think about the areas in your life where you've gone quiet, not because nothing is wrong, but because you've stopped believing anything will get better. Maybe it's a relationship where you've stopped communicating. Maybe it's your health, where you've told yourself so many times that you'll start Monday that Monday lost its meaning. Maybe it's your career, your creativity, your sense of self. Seligman found something else in his research. The dogs that never developed learned helplessness, the ones who kept trying even after repeated failure, had one thing different in their history: early experiences of control, small moments where their actions actually changed something. Which means the antidote isn't motivation. It isn't a YouTube video telling you to believe in yourself. It's evidence. Small, real, undeniable evidence that what you do matters.
So how do you rewire a brain that has learned to give up? You don't fight it with force. You don't push through with willpower. You start embarrassingly small. You pick one thing, one tiny thing, where success is almost guaranteed. Not to prove something to the world, but to give your nervous system new data. You make the bed. You finish the short run. You send the one email. Not because those things change your life, but because they change the story your brain is telling about what's possible. Every small win is a vote against the old conclusion. And over time, vote by vote, the brain starts to rewrite the ending. Seligman spent the rest of his career studying not just helplessness, but resilience. He wanted to know what separates the people who keep going from the ones who lie down on the floor. And what he found was simple. It wasn't talent, it wasn't luck, it wasn't even strength. It was the belief, fragile at first, then unshakable, that what they did had some effect on what happened next. You are not stuck because you are weak. You are stuck because you were taught, by life, by people, by loss, that the door doesn't open. But it does. The question is whether you're willing to walk toward it one more time. If this hits something in you, subscribe. There's more where this came from.